Cleaning computer monitor. A dirty monitor screen can add additional eye strain when viewing on the screen for an extended period. This device can easily get dust, dirt, and other airborne particles onto it due to the static electricity it can produce. Fingerprints can also add up to it. In addition, screens are very susceptible to scratches that can cause additional damage. Do's in cleaning your monitor. Unplug your monitor first from the socket to avoid the risk of electric shock. Use microfiber or lint-free cloth when cleaning or wiping the screen. Other cloth could cause scratches and damage onto the screen. Use a damp microfiber or lint-free cloth and wipe the surface gently. Don'ts in cleaning your monitor. Do not spray any liquid directly on the screen for it may damage your monitor. Here's a video showing the proper procedures on how to clean monitor.
Different than your laptop here. What we want to do is we want to be careful. We don't want to obviously scratch it. We want to carefully do this. First thing you do, this isn't mandatory, but if you do have any big chunks, go ahead and use one of these and go ahead, squirt it around so you don't have any big chunks stuck on there that when you do wipe it, it will drag across your screen. Next thing you could do, if you don't have that, you could take one side of your microfiber cloth and go ahead and just kind of lightly kind of knock it and try to go in one position if you do have big chunks or whatnot. Most of you guys won't have big chunks. Next thing you are going to need, obviously, is a clean microfiber cloth. I will have some of these things linked in the description box right below the video. If you don't have them, you can just pick them up through the link below. All right, next thing we need after the microfiber cloth is we need distilled water. We want it damp, we don't want it dripping, so make sure that you're wringing any excess out. Again, we do not want anything dripping down our screen. Now what we're gonna do with distilled water on our microfiber cloth is we are gonna be going left to right, right to left, or up and down. We don't want to do swirls. Whatever direction you do choose, you want to stick with that direction. So if you're going left to right, don't then switch it up to north south. If you're going to choose north or south, stick with north or south. For the process of this video, we're just going to go ahead and go left to right. So again, with my damp cloth here, so as you can see, there are all these spots, probably from a Coca-Cola being popped open or something like that. This isn't my screen, but I am selling this screen, so I want to make sure that it's nice and clean for the next person who purchases it. Again, I'm going right to left, left to right, and we might have to do this a few times, you know, with the wet side, of course. See how it's not dripping? It is leaving, obviously, some wet marks on the monitor, but slowly drying there. We do want to dry it with our microfiber cloth here. And what we'll do is we'll do the screen first, and then we'll do the edges. Sometimes dust can get on the edges. And you can go ahead and flip your cloth around using more water if needs be. All right, now we have our dry side. So let's go ahead and do the same method left to right, and we're gonna go ahead and dry this. And that's it there, looking a lot better. Now, obviously, we do have a few little light scratches. We did not do that. That was already there. And then there is a small one right here in the middle. All the Coca-Cola is gone. All the nasty dust and debris. We're looking absolutely fantastic. Now this thing is ready to sell. Okay, now if you've tried water and it's just not, whatever's on there is not working for you, okay, the next option is 50% distilled water and 50% white household vinegar. White household vinegar, mix 50% of the white household vinegar and 50% of the distilled water. Mix that solution up, put it on your cloth first, make sure it's wrung out so it's not dripping, and then try that and then dry it. Hopefully your guys' screen is looking real sharp.
Cleaning your keyboard. A filthy keyboard can lead to different issues such as stuck, jammed, or stuttering keys and malfunctioning. This device is often faced that can catch particles such as dust, food debris, and other small dirt and grease particles, which can accumulate and stick on the keys or inner crevices of the keyboard casing. Do's in cleaning your keyboard. Use a damp microfiber or lint-free cloth and wipe the surface and cord gently. If you are using a mechanical keyboard, just remove the keycaps and wash it with clean water, and brush the debris left behind onto the casing or use an air blower. Don'ts in cleaning your keyboard. Do not spray any liquid directly onto the keyboard or casing. It may zip into the crevices and damage the board. Here's a video showing the proper procedures on how to clean your keyboard.
Let's start with an external keyboard. Before you get started, here's what you'll need. Rubbing alcohol, cotton swabs, a clean microfiber cloth, a can of compressed air, which is great for blowing away dust in hard to reach areas, and a toothpick, which can scrape up embedded dirt. First, unplug your keyboard or remove the batteries. Next, turn the keyboard upside down to let any loose debris fall out naturally. If you have a can of compressed air, use it to blow loose any additional debris. Now, dampen a cotton swab with rubbing alcohol and use it to clean around the keys. The cotton swab should be wet, but not dripping. Dispose of the swab once it's picked up enough dirt. You may need more than one swab to cover the entire keyboard. Next, if you have a toothpick and see any stubborn debris, use it to carefully remove that debris now. Now apply rubbing alcohol to a cloth or towelette, again, damp, not dripping, and use it to clean the tops of the keyboard keys as well as the surrounding areas. Finally, use the dry, lint-free cloth to remove the last of the dust and polish your keyboard. Many external keyboards will also let you remove individual keys, which is great for cleaning the spaces underneath the keys. This will also let you give each key a more thorough cleaning. Check the manual for your specific keyboard to see if the keys are removable and how to remove and replace them if they are.
Cleaning your mouse. Dust and grease can easily accumulate in the mouse due to being one of the most used peripheral devices. Dirty surfaces are also one of the common causes of the problem with the mouse sensor lens, which can cause erratic mouse movements. Do's in cleaning your mouse. Use a damp microfiber or lint-free cloth and wipe the surface and cord gently. Don'ts in cleaning your mouse. Do not spray any liquid directly onto the sensor lens to prevent damage. Here's a video showing the proper procedures on how to clean your mouse. Cleaning your computer chassis. Computer chassis is alternatively referred to as the computer case and sometimes referred to as the system unit or tower. The chassis is the housing that helps protect and organize all the components that make up a desktop computer. Over time, dust and airborne particles can accumulate outside the system unit. When these particles and grease build up for a long time, it can corrode the paint and cause rust to the metal parts. Do's in cleaning your chassis. Always power off and unplug the system unit from the power source before working on it to avoid the risk of electric shock. Use an anti-static mat and strap to discharge yourself of static electricity before touching any parts of the chassis. Be aware of sharp edges of the case that can cut you easily. Use a damp microfiber or lint-free cloth and wipe the case and cover or the glass gently. Don'ts in cleaning your chassis. Do not spray any liquid directly onto the sensors chassis to prevent damaging the internal parts of the system units. Cleaning the internal parts of the system unit. Inside the chassis or computer cases, where you can find the motherboard, processors, memory, storage, PSU, fans, and many more. Over time, the fans suck tons of air that may contain dirt and small debris, like foods and hair strands that will accumulate inside the unit, which can cause overheating and corrosion on some delicate components. Do's in cleaning the internal parts. Use an anti-static mat and strap to discharge yourself of static electricity before touching any component of the system unit. Use a dry microfiber or lint-free cloth and wipe the parts gently. Don'ts in cleaning the internal parts. Do not use excessive force when disassembling and assembling the components. Do not spray or use any liquid in cleaning the components. Just use a dry microfiber cloth. Here's a video showing the proper procedures on how to clean your computer chassis and its internal parts. Decluttering cables. Cable management is a must and recommended for custom-built computers for proper airflow and aesthetics. Unlike professionally manufactured computers, ordinary built computers do not arrive with nicely tucked away cabling that fits just right. So, the best way to make your case more secure and organized is to use zip ties or Velcro. You may begin by disconnecting all cables that will need to be tied. Be sure to memorize where they are connected for less trouble later. When you have a cable or set of cables grouped to your liking, wrap a zip tie or Velcro around it, then tighten it. Grab your scissors to cut the excess. Repeat this step for as many cables as possible. You can then tuck them away to reduce their visibility and give your computers a nice airflow and a cleaner look.
First things first, you want to start fresh. Completely remove everything onto your desk and make sure to dedicate half of the day at least for this task. You don't want to rush this process. The more cables you have, the longer it will take. You will need a cable raceway. The one I picked up is 48 inches in length, which is perfect since my desk is 72 inches long. You can always cut this to fit your desk length since it's plastic. The next thing you want to do is figure out where everything is going. Do not stick anything against the desk yet. Just sort of plan everything out. Once you are set on how you want to mount the raceway, peel off the 3M tape in the back and stick it on the roof of your desk while applying pressure. Start moving the cables around, figuring out how you are going to route them through the raceway. You don't want to just shove cables in there. You guys need to have a system. In my case, I run the cables from the top of my desk in a straight line into the raceway. Using these cable clips ensures that your cables follow the path you create for them. If you have charging hubs, power bricks, or receivers of some sort, it's time to bust out the 3M tape. The one I always use is from Scotch and they have some really strong adhesive. So I stuck some on my Philips Hue RGB receiver and sneaked it between the raceway and my table. As for the power brick, I did the same thing. I applied 4 squares, one in each corner, and stuck it against the roof of the desk. Again, using cable clips ensures that your wires are following the path that you are creating for them. Once majority of the cables are planned out, it's time to attach the most important piece, the power outlet. I personally use these Oracle ones for several reasons. They double as surge protectors, they are lightweight and flat, which makes it extremely easy to stick, and they have 5 USB charging ports, which is perfect if you need to power certain devices. Before you mount the surge protector, it's always a good idea to hold it in place and make sure that all the plugs can reach it. In my case, I found the perfect spot, which is in reach of all the other cables. I also hooked up my charging dock into one of the USB hubs and proceeded to connect the rest of the plugs. Using Velcro straps can help bring the cables together for a cleaner look. That way they are not spread out. Like I said earlier, create a system or a path, if you will, that your wires will follow so it looks organized. The MVP here is the cable raceway, definitely a huge difference from before. Let's take a quick look at the before and after one more time.